Okay, again, welcome everyone to Module 2 of the Fostering Family Leaders Program. I'll share my screen. I want to say welcome. My name is Pam Braxton. I'm the Community Outreach Coordinator for Odyssey Family Counseling Center. I'm also one of the therapists at Odyssey, and I'm one of your facilitators for the FFL training. Okay, we got a couple more people coming in. All right, so we like to start all of our sessions with a quote. So this quote is talking about, it says, a clear vision backed by definite plans gives you a tremendous feeling of confidence and personal power. So this quote suggests that having a clear understanding of your goals and a well thought out plan to achieve them can instill a strong sense of confidence and personal empowerment. So this quote kind of ties into what we're going to talk about today. So today's module has a strong focus on discovering and building on your unique gifts as individuals, as parents, and community leaders. And we'll also concentrate on your personal visions for yourself and learn how to support your children in developing their passions or their sparks. So that's a little bit of what we're going to talk about today. I do ask, as always, that you turn your camera on so we can see you. But since we are recording, and if you don't feel comfortable, that's fine. Again, you can use emojis, images at the bottom of the screen to promote engagement and acknowledgement, like a thumbs up or heart or etc. The other thing I want to share is I learned about this new app called Remind. I think some of you all have responded or accepted. So it's a text message system that we use with our school-based program. So I figured out how to use it for our trainings. So I'm going to be using the app for text messages, and I'm also going to continue to use email. So this is another form of communication. So I learned something new. All right. So I would like for the rest of the team to introduce themselves this evening. I'm going to stop sharing. Okay.
Well, I'm Gabrielle. I also work at Odyssey Family Counseling Center. I am an adult clinician. So yeah, I've been there for almost a year now.
Thank you, Gabrielle.
Hey everyone, my name is Tanya Weatherspoon. I am with United Way of Greater Atlanta, and I am part of the Odyssey team. And I'm so glad to be with you all tonight.
Thank you, Tani.
And I am Pamela Ross, and I'm sorry I'm not on camera because I'm driving right now, but I am with United Way, and I'm one of the coaches that are working with Odyssey team and with you guys, and I'm so happy to be here tonight and for you guys to have your second session.
Yes, thank you. Okay. So I put this little slide here because I wanted you all to know that if for some reason you have to miss a session, in case you missed it, it's being recorded and I can email it to you. And once I email it to you, I just ask that you please review the video and complete the feedback survey form for that module. So if you missed module 1, send you the video. Could you please complete the feedback survey for that module? And I typically send the surveys out at least a couple of times a week. So, because we want to make sure that everyone has access to all the information. Okay. So, the first activity that we're going to talk about, this is a warm-up activity, and it's called the name tag sandwich. Now, this is in your book on page 28. And basically, This warm-up activity will provide you with the opportunity to reflect upon who has influenced your life and will help you think about how you can be intentional in impacting the lives of your children. So we ask that you write your name in the middle of the space, like on a piece of paper. And this would be better if we were in person, right? Because then you have like an actual name tag. But in some of your boxes that some of you picked up at the office, you have supplies and stuff in there. So basically you can use some construction paper or whatever, and then you just put your name in the middle. And then on the top, you would write the name of someone who's had a positive impact on your life. And then at the bottom, you would put the name of your children. So I'm going to give you guys about 5 minutes to kind of do this activity, but I want to show you, I did this activity. So this is mine. So my mom, her name is Willie, and my name is Pam, but I didn't put my children because my children are adults. So I put my grandchildren on here. So Jalen is 3 and Janiyah is 1 week old. 1 week old. She was born last Sunday.
Congratulations, Pam.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And so how my mom has impacted me. So my mom grew up in rural Mississippi, and her father was not in her life. And I don't know if this is a Southern Mississippi thing back in the 40s, but my grandmother kind of gave my mother to her mother. You know, lots of times the first grandchild, the grandmother would raise the child, whatever. So my mother grew up with her grandmother. She didn't grow up with any of her parents. So when my mom was raising myself and my sister, she made sure she was present in our lives. She made sure that we connected with her. And so I'm using the example of grandparent, because like I said, my children are adults. My mom, we have certain rituals and traditions that we had as I was growing up, and then with my kids, my mom did, and so now I'm doing with my grandkids. We celebrate holidays and have family dinners. So my mom showed me, she impacted me as far as how to be a parent, right? And a grandparent, as far as connecting with their grandkids and having those traditions and holidays and birthdays and FaceTime, you know, all of that. So my mom has impacted me a lot as far as the great Nana that I am today. So that is my example, but I want you all to use the person that has impacted you and your children. Okay. Does that make sense? Does anybody have any questions? We good? Okay. All right. So I'm going to give
Are
you
we, is
5.
that one,
Yes.
I'm sorry, are we putting it in the
Yes.
chat or? Okay.
You can put it in the chat if you like. I'm going to give you 5 minutes and you can put it in the chat, or you could come off mute and you can tell us who has impacted you, your name, and your kids. And we want 100% participation. So, yes, put it in the chat, or you can come off mute. It's up to you.
Do they have some time to think, Pam? Would you like me to
5
play a little
minutes.
music to give them time?
Yes, please. I am
Okay.
going to put it on 5 minutes.
Okay.
Around the sun, the earth does keep revolving. The robots know the bloom in early May. Ain't no love secure. You can set your mind soon. And I'll be loving you always. Now can't reveal the mystery of tomorrow, but in passing we'll grow older every day. All that's born is new, so what I say is true. I'll be loving you always. Another day, I look towards the beginning and see there's no exactly when to change. I no change, nothing for your joy and pain. I'll be loving you always. That's the day I got to take on the path without you. Well, no need
Bless you.
Okay, time is up. Okay, I see a lot of answers in the chat. Thank you so much. I need a couple of people to come off mute and share your name tag sandwich activity. Who would like to share? I need about 2 or 3 people.
I go.
Okay, who is that?
My name is Kiana. Kiana.
Hi, Hi, Kiana.
Oh wait, I don't even know if you can see it. Hi, you guys.
Oh,
You can't really see my name tag. I don't know why it's blurry,
oh,
but
that's
I
okay.
put
What you
myself in the
got?
middle. I put myself in the middle. At the top, I put my mother, which is my daughter's maternal grandmother, because she impacted me very, very, very much on my parenting style, on how I want to raise my daughter. So that's why I put my
Good.
mom.
That is great. Thank you, Kiana. Thank you. Anybody else want to share? Oh,
It's
hey.
okay. It's okay. Okay, here's the marker bag. We gotta go back in.
I'll share mine.
Okay. Thank you,
So
Shelly.
I put my parents. I also have step parents, so everybody has been a part of my life since I was like 10 or 12. So my parents, Tina and Clamus, and then my step parents, Matt and Glenda, and then myself and my children, Winter, Rayshard, and Gavin.
Okay, thank you. Okay. So let me ask this question. What does this activity have to do with being a leader? This name tag sandwich, talking about people who impacted us and
Somebody had to
and
lead
Because the way
us.
that they impact us is how we lead and set examples for the next generation of our family.
great, thank you. Somebody else wants to add something? Yes, that is true. So this exercise is part of also developing your vision, right? So when we talk about people who impacted us, and then in turn how we're going to impact our children, that's also kind of developing our vision, right, for the future. So let me go to the next slide. Any questions so far? This is kind of like setting up today's module. Thank you for everyone that shared with us. Okay, so this is the agenda for today. We're going to go over the personal crest homework assignment. Thank you all. I got so many crests. I really appreciate you all sending your homework in. We're going to talk about defining leadership and affirming it within yourself. We're going to introduce the Sparks concept and why it is important. We're going to define vision. We're going to make sure that we've completed all the required documentation, that is the feedback surveys. And then we're going to talk about developing a personal vision board for homework. Okay, so that's kind of like setting the pace as far as what we're going to talk about. So today is session module 2, February 13th, developing your vision. Okay, so I'm going to have Gabrielle take it over and talk about community agreements.
Hello, hello. So I'm going to review some of the community agreements, but I'm going to challenge you guys. Can anybody raise their hand and tell me, do y'all remember what community agreements are? If you weren't here last week, it's okay. But if you were here last week, who remembers what community agreements are as it relates to group? All right, well, I'm gonna tell you what the community are. The community agreements are rules and think group. Thank you, Wakina. Group rules and expectations. Perfect. She put it perfectly. Group rules and expectations for the group. How we can respect each other. How we can listen better. How we can speak in a respectful way without interrupting anybody. These are just to name kind of what drives the community guidelines. So, can anybody tell me what community guidelines they remember from last group? You can put it in the chat. You can raise your hand and say it. What are some of the community guidelines that you remember that we talked about last time?
Hi, I remember this is confidential. Everything we say in here stays in here. Also to be respectful to everyone else and make sure everybody gets a turn.
Yeah. All right, Nikki said show up. Joaquina said respect one another.
Did she say tell the truth and be open?
Be open. Was that who said that? I'm sorry.
Ashley.
Ashley. Be open and honest. Yeah, yes, that was one of the community guidelines as well. Show
Okay.
up, tell the truth. Decoria, you have any community guidelines you remember?
Yes, I think was one of them be empathetic. I'm not for sure, but I think one of them would be empathetic to others.
If it's not one, that's a good one to add. Empathetic.
Okay. All right.
So, follow-up question. What are some community guidelines that you guys want to add? Listening to other opinions, that's a good one, Nikki.
How about, can I add step up and step back? Because that's one that always makes me think about myself. If you talk too much, like me, it's an opportunity for you to step back and let others speak. And if you're a person who may not speak a lot or shy, it's a chance for you to step up and use your voice.
So are you saying that if you feel like, because sometimes in class,
Mm-hmm.
people who know all the answers kind of
Yes.
take over. So what you're
Yes.
saying is to give other people a chance to share.
Absolutely. That's a great way to
Okay.
put it. Because I was that kid in the class who did that.
Okay. So give others a chance to share. That's a good one.
And then those who don't speak much, this is your time to shine.
Yeah.
And step up.
Anything else? Ashley saying, she said, that's why I'm being quiet now. Well, don't be quiet. You have the floor. We got nothing but time. All right. So I got a list. So I got confidential, respectful, be respectful to others. Everyone get a turn, show up, tell the truth, be empathetic, listen to others. So I'm going to read so I just listed what we came up with, and then I'm going to read what we have already. The goal is for y'all to get involved and also come up with community guidelines. So that's why we didn't show the slide. We just had y'all kind of run off some so we can get some other suggestions. So the community guidelines that were from last group that we have in this group is confidential, keep things confidential, ask questions, put yourself on mute when you're not speaking, use the emojis, raise your hand. If you guys don't feel comfortable speaking, using those emojis is a good indicator that you guys are still participating. Take space and make space. What also what Tani just said, give some, if you know all the answers, kind of give people room to express what their feelings and thoughts as well. For agreements, be impeccable. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions. Always do your best. Come with the open mind and learn. Ashley said something similar to that. Tell the truth and be open. A judgment-free zone. And be flexible and ready to compromise. So what we've added to this list is being empathetic. What we've added to this list is be honest. And I think everything else is pretty much what we had talked about last week. So again, this is something that we want to be inclusive and we want you guys' participation. So spend some time this week thinking about other community guidelines, community agreements. jot them down, and we can talk about them next week, because guess what? We're going to talk about them. We're going to review the community agreements every week of these classes. Sounds good? Appreciate it, Ashley.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Gabrielle. And thank you all for sharing some extra community agreements. So we're going to add some to this list for next time. So thank you for your participation. Okay, so for homework, you all had a personal crest activity, and I want to thank all of you all that sent me your personal crest. I think Tani is going to lead this exercise. So Tani, give it to you.
All right, so greetings, everyone. We had homework. And so Pam, before we go into reviewing it, can we show the slides of the different crests that were turned in? And I just want to let you guys know, this is some top-notch stuff. Getting homework from participants sometimes can be challenging. So I love when I see homework and people put time into it. Ooh, look, someone said, hey, let me just put this in 4 quadrants. Oh, look at all that. I love it. There's no pattern. It's just 4 people talking about themselves on their crest. Okay. All right. That was awesome. Okay. Thank you so much. So, if you guys remember, personal crest, you could choose to make 4 quadrants from either a belief, a fear, a personal goal, a personal accomplishment, a role model, favorite food, talent, or a hobby, right? And so that is just what we saw. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take time, and I would like to ask each of you to, one, if you have not already done, if you did not do your personal crest, you have the list, and this is from day 1, right? From session 1. If you go in your book and look under session 1, you'll see that list that's on the screen right now. It's in your book, and you can drop one of those components into, do we email? Yeah, you can email it to Pam Braxton. Great question, Shamika. Email it to Pam, and we will show it next time because we want everybody's crest to be shown. So thank you for asking. If you did not, can you please drop at least one of those things talking about yourself in the chat? But I'd like to ask just for a couple of people who turn their thank you. Oh, go ahead, Ashley. You guys are on it. They're not playing, Pam. Make sure that that the ones that are just sent in now, that we can show them next week to everyone. Okay. If we have time at the end, we can, but for sure next week. So if I can ask if 2 of the people who shared their crest, if they can talk just at least about one of the components, just one of the components on their crest. You can just unmute yourself and share.
Mine is on the right. I'm sorry, the left side of the screen right now.
Right here, this one.
Yes.
So this
mine.
is Shelly.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Can you share one of your components with us, please, Shelly? Can you tell us about one of them?
So one of my things is just my belief is really big for me. My dad I'm a PK, so that has a lot of influence on my life. But I just feel like whatever you're given, you have God to rely on. So I found that was a good quote for me.
All right now, PK. You would have got in trouble if you didn't put that on your crest.
And I love to cook and do crafts. So that's one of my hobbies.
Okay. So you're so creative. I love it. Well, thank you so much for sharing. And all right, so we got one down. We got a PK in the group, a creative PK. So can we have one more person share about their crest? You feel free to unmute yourself.
I'm Ashley Mendoza. My crest is up. It's the purple one right here.
Okay.
I wanted to talk about my talents. One of my talents is to speak Spanish. I learned how to speak Spanish watching TV for a year. Everybody around me spoke Spanish and I didn't understand. God has provided me to be able to read it. I never studied. Nothing. I just kept praying to God and saying, hey, I want to be able to understand church and I want to be able to understand, godly words and things like that and be able to read it. And I now been able to read it. And I did an extra on there because one of my personal goals on that is taking courses to further my education in Spanish.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Muchas gracias. I really appreciate I appreciate you. That is awesome. So, okay, so now we've learned some new things. That's one of my secret goals is to be fluent in Spanish. There's someone who might have accidentally unmuted. If you don't mind, if you could mute yourself. Someone is unmuted, so it's kind of interrupting the rest of the discussion. Thank you so much. So, so can I ask you either for Shelley or Ashley, when we look at just the two people who've shared, right? Can you tell us how that is connected to the protective factors? And wait, before we do this, someone I think is still unmuted. If you don't mind, if you're not sharing right now, if you can mute, please. Thank you. All right. So can you tell us how protective factors are linked to what was just shared on the personal press? Or how it was linked to that? Anyone. It doesn't have to be the participants who spoke, but anyone who can tell how they're connected. Thank you. Thank you, Brent Braxton. Let me give you a chance to think about it. Those are the 5 protective factors, whether it's resilience, social connections, concrete support in time of need, knowledge of parenting and child development.
What page is this on?
That's a good question. So the protective factors are on the very first part of the book, should be in day 1 or maybe right before day 1 are the protective factors.
The protective factors are on page 22.
Thank you. See,
That's
we got a
in
great
session 1. Yeah.
See, that's why we got a great leader.
So for me, this is Shelley. For me, I think the resilience and the social and emotional competence along with belief, and all of them together are influence my parenting style and the way I encourage my children.
Absolutely. And I think I might add into their social connection, because you're talking about your belief and strengthening that, and you're a PK, so you definitely have social connections, right? So I think I might add that one on top. Thank you so much, Shelley. All right,
You're welcome.
so how about this? Just really quickly, and we're going to move on to the next activity. You can drop in the chat how many of these protective factors do you think that you have right now? And I'm going to tell you guys, when I very first did this, I was a bit embarrassed because I think I had like 2.5 of them. So, and the reason it's a great thing to think about which ones you have and which ones you don't, because that gives you an opportunity to think about where you can strengthen yourself and strengthen your family. So if you'd like, you can drop it in the chat. If not, it's okay. But just look at the 5 protective factors and think of how many of those you got. We got another halfer like me. All right. Miss Joaquina, you like me. You got 3.5. I had 2.5. You ahead of me. All right, 3. All right. So again, it's not mandatory, it just gives us an opportunity to do some self-assessment. So thank you so much for participating. Thank you for all of you who completed your homework and sent it to Pam Braxton. Again, we see 1.5. That lets you know, okay, where do I need to do some work in my family? Maybe 2. Okay. Hey, that's good. Just reflect, and then it's a great time to look at what do I have and what do I need to do? Thank you so much for sharing. I appreciate that. So now what we're going to do is I am going to hand it back over to Pam Braxton, and she's going to talk to us about your personal spark. And Pam, can I add a quick caveat before you start?
Absolutely.
Okay, so Pam's going to talk to you about your spark. And this is, I have a lot of favorites. I always say, this is my very favorite. This is my top 3 favorite activity. And one of the things that's really important, I want you to remember as Pam starts talking to you about it, this is not about your kids. It is only about you. We're only talking about your spark. Okay, so I want you guys to remember. So when we're thinking about this activity, only consider yourself, because our first 3 sessions, we're focusing on ourselves. Then we'll focus on family the next sessions, and then we'll focus on community. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Tani.
Yes, ma'am.
So our next section is about sparks, and it is on page 30 of your manual, if you have your manual. So what are sparks? So they're interests and passions that young people have within themselves that kind of light a fire in their lives and express the essence of who they are and what they offer to the world. So who would like to read the next paragraph here on the screen as far as what sparks are? Have some volunteers to read that next paragraph. Okay, Nikki, did you raise your hand? Oh, okay.
Yes, I raised my hand, but my daughter. Okay. According to the Search Institute, the interests and passions or sparks that young people have are indicators of how they will thrive in the world. These sparks express the essence of who they are and what they have to offer to the world. Research shows that students whose sparks are supported have greater academic success. Students with sparks engage in fewer risk-taking behaviors. Their sparks contribute to their psychological well-being. They are less depressed, less worried, and more satisfied with their lives. Sparks have roots in early childhood. This is why it is a good idea to expose children to many different experiences and activities. High quality daycare and preschools have well-defined learning centers for this purpose. However, children must have individual adult attention in order to thrive. What are your sparks? Were they nurtured when you were a child? Take the spark self-test and share your answers in duos or trios.
Okay, thank you. So this is how we're going to do this activity. So we're going to ask that you put the answers in the chat. So with the spark test, as Tiny said, this is geared towards you. So the following questions are for adults are from a national poll. Take a few moments to answer these questions. So do you have a spark? That's the first question. Yes, I'm not sure, or no. And if you have a spark, what was or were your sparks? And then the third question, which of these people gave your spark a lot of support, affirmation, or an encouragement? Your mother, your father, a teacher, a friend, a grandparent, a neighbor, an uncle, an aunt, a youth worker, or leader. So the first question is, and I want you to put this in the chat, do you have a spark or sparks? That's the first question. I think there are 14 people here. 12. Gabrielle, do we have a count of how many are here?
I have 14.
14. Okay. All right, we got 14. Okay. Yes, 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 Not sure. Okay, thank you, Ashley. Yes, yes. That's part of sports. I love trying. Also, I love little ones. Okay, thank you, Kiana. Okay. Yeah. Okay, we don't have everybody. So, anybody else? Do you have a spark? Oops, sorry. Okay, so if you have a spark, what is it? What was it? What were your sparks? What was your spark? If you answer yes. Okay, thank you, Shelley.
I see a few of you guys put, there's some people who got a little specific and they put education, music, and there was one more I saw. Um, Physical activity. I would like for you guys to dig a little bit deeper and think of something like specifically that happened, like that, like, you know, was it when your physical activity, was it a specific sport or one specific thing that really happened that sparked to make you or contribute to who you are today? So was it a song? Like when I was in fourth grade, I was when I heard my first rap song on the bus. Like I remember that day like yesterday. And music and art has played a huge role in my life. Education, was it a specific teacher? Is it a specific subject that really impacted you, Shelley? This is just food for thought.
Okay. Okay. These are some really good sparks in here. Um, and last question, which of these people gave your spark a lot of support, affirmation, and encouragement? I think some of you already put that in here. Grandmother, mom, um, okay. So, who gave you these sparks? Okay. Your grandmother, third grade teacher. Okay, while you guys are still thinking, can a couple of people come off mute and share? These are some really good answers. Who would like to share their spark and which of the people supported you, gave you support and encouragement for your spark? Ashley? Ashley Manning? I think we got two. Do we got two Ashleys? Okay, Ashley Manning,
That's
you
just
want to
two
share?
of us.
Okay.
Yes. So I lived in Mississippi briefly, when I was really young, and in Glen Allen, by the way, Glen Allen, Greenville. Um, and I realized when we were walking through a cotton field to get to my grandma's house, one of my grandma's houses, a boy was bothering me, and I had to run home because my brothers kept saying, "Run home." And I realized at 5 I was fast. So we moved to Oklahoma to be around my mom's family. Um, I got into track and field, and I was the fastest person in my age group. I was really, really fast. And so my entire community, not only my parents, but my teachers and my coaches, they really rallied around me and made sure I just had fun. It wasn't any pressure. I wanted to be a football player with my brothers. I have only brothers. And my bonus dad was like, absolutely not. You're not going to play tackle. And I'm like, but I'm good. And he gave me some pom-poms. And I ended up being a YMCA cheerleader. And that just kind of morphed into cheering middle school. Unfortunately, in high school, I dealt with a lot of racism. So I ended up leaving cheer. I moved to a new school in Tulsa who actually said, hey, we heard you're a good cheerleader, just join the team. I didn't have to try out, but because of my experience, it just kept me holding me back. But I did, once I went to the military, I actually helped some of my shipmates, their daughters, um, earn spots on their cheer team. So I didn't allow it to stop me. I just stopped competing. And that's
Okay.
it.
Well, that's great. Thank you. Thank you so much. Awesome. Yes. You guys got some really good stuff in here. So I just want to read a few because this is like really good. Joaquina talks about coloring with her mother sparked her creativity and artistic skills. Kiana talked about when I was 3, mom started taking me to basketball gyms to watch my sisters play, and I fell in love. I grew up to play D9 collegiate basketball. Shelly, math was my subject of choice. In 3rd grade, I started doing competitions and competed all the way through college. Oh, Nikki, you said I was a kind child in a family full of meanies. This is still my spark. Do you want to tell us a little bit about your spark? Because I read something that you had put earlier in the chat, if you don't mind.
I really love to put my toothpaste. Okay, she's good. She changed her mind.
Okay.
Yes. Well, growing up, I remember having the sensitivity toward animals that going around me had. And, I would feel for the safety and care of animals that no one inspired in me. Or my family members were very, very mean. And I grew up in a white family. I'm biracial. My mother is white and my father is Nigerian. And I did not know my father until I was 26. So, and he was in prison. He had been in prison my entire life, which is why I never had any Black siblings. So why did I say that? Oh, because my family that I grew up around, they were and are very racist. And so it was a very specific put down to me that only I received as far as like being Black or looking differently than them. And so I was put down a lot, but I think that made me sensitive to other people. And I grew up having this heart for other humans that
Mm.
my baby is singing the ABCs.
Uh,
Anyway, I'm just so proud of her.
yeah.
So I care about people in a deep way that was not inspired from the people that I came from. And so that still guides me today.
Oh, wow. Well,
Yeah.
I'm really sorry to hear that as far as, you know, your childhood and everything. But as you stated, it kind of shaped you into this really sensitive, outgoing, because you were in my class last year. So very outgoing person. So we appreciate you sharing that. Thank you. Okay, we're gonna go to the next. Okay, so now, Tiny, help me with this one because I think, are we supposed to start from the bottom and then go up? Because I think last time
Are
with
we
this
talking about,
activity,
you're talking about for the spark?
yeah,
Okay, so we don't necessarily, because, okay, so when we talk about it, because this activity talks a little bit about what you do with your child. And this can
right.
be something that we can do, that people can, it doesn't matter. You can start from the top and go down. But
Okay,
basically, for them to go home and think about their child spark. And I will say
okay,
one of the things that's really important is that, like, we allow the child maybe to, if the child is old enough, instead of us telling them, remember to ask your child what they believe their spark is, their special talent or gift. And by the way, there's some amazing people on this call today. I just need to say that.
absolutely. I agree. So this is on page 32 of your book. And if you want, talk to your kid about what they think their spark is. So I think this is a really good activity to do with your kids, do with your children. Okay, we're gonna move on for the sake of time. Okay, we could just take a woosah before we go on to the next section. It's 7 o'clock. Let's see. Okay, if you need to take a break, if you need to step away, if you need to get water, you can do that. Okay, I'm going to go next. Okay, so now we're going to talk about vision. What is vision? So basically, it's a description of what you want your life to be. That could be a vision. It can represent personal dreams and goals. It reflects an individual's aspirations and the path that they envision for their life. So I'm going to show this quick video, and it's about how to create a vision for your life. It's kind of comprehensive. And then we're going to come back and talk about a personal vision activity that we're going to do. So it's about 5 minutes. Let me turn the sound on.
Your mattress
You know, we see a
shouldn't
commercial
jiggle
first on
because a
YouTube.
mattress
So,
that jiggles is a mattress.
okay, there you go.
I used to think it was a silly waste of time to think about a vision for my life. Who does that? It seemed too touchy-feely, too Tony Robbins-ish. But then, as I started learning how to change my life and my habits, I realised something. People avoid creating a vision for their lives because they believe the exercise is futile. Why make a vision when it's impossible to accomplish these things anyway? I've also noticed something over the past several years. The most interesting, accomplished people I know all have a vision for their lives. They seem to know what comes next, like they've seen the future. On the other hand, people I meet or know who are stuck and have that hopeless look in their eyes, like they're just passing time in life, without joy or aspiration. Those people don't have a vision. In fact, many of them don't even have long-term goals. This was painfully clear at my recent high school reunion. Does having a vision make you better able to change your life? Or does being able to change your life make having a vision possible? Being able to change your life and having a vision for it are the yin and yang of living a great life. They're interdependent and complementary of one another. One will jumpstart the other. Find the motivation to change your life, and you'll be able to create a vision for it. Or create a vision for your life and then learn how to change it. What's the difference between a life vision and long-term goals? Goals are individual experiences and accomplishments you strive for. A vision is the bigger picture. Your life's vision defines who you want to be, what do you want to be known for, and the set of experiences and accomplishments you aim for. Your vision helps define the goals by giving you a framework to evaluate those goals. Your vision becomes your why. Your vision should aim to answer questions like, what life do you want to have lived at age 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, and 80? What kinds of people do you want to be surrounded by? What do you believe you're capable of in life? What are the greatest things you could accomplish, given the right circumstances, resources, and motivation? What do you wish you could change about the world? What could you contribute to the world that would make you feel proud and content? When you die, what would you want people to say and remember about you? In fact, start by answering those questions and your vision should be easy to create. How to create your life's vision. First, you need to identify what matters in life. This is where that college philosophy class should come in handy. You need to go deep and existential here. What is the real meaning of life? How should you live your life? Your answer to what matters in life won't be perfect, and that's okay. The point is to put a stake in the ground to work towards, and you can change your answer whenever you review your life's vision. Regardless of your answer, there will be things you want to do or be, and there are resources needed to support those experiences and accomplishments. Next, make a list of the categories of things that matter to you. Here are the categories currently on my list: health, exercise, diet, mindfulness, perspective, ability, skills, knowledge, character, relationships, curate and cultivate them, time, using what time you have wisely, wealth, creating the value necessary to support goals, experiences, accomplishments, contentment, being happy with who you are, perhaps the ultimate goal. Your list can and should look different. It's all about what matters to you and what you want out of your brief time on this planet. Now, for each of your categories, write down what you want or need from each. Think about the things you want to accomplish or experience, and work backwards to understand how the other categories should support your life's vision. Finally, craft a statement that describes what your ideal life looks like. I know, it might seem cheesy, but this entire exercise can be incredibly fun and rewarding. I just refreshed my life's vision while on vacation in Hawaii for 10 days. It was the perfect setting to get all introspective. Your vision statement will consist of an overall description of your ideal life, combined with a list of areas that matter most, and high-level goals for each area. What's next? If all you do is this exercise, you will likely see some benefits, as your vision will stick in the back of your mind, and you'll unconsciously work towards it. However, if you want the best chance of making your vision happen, you'll need to go further. You need to build a system for yourself, where you review your vision and goals regularly, and update your action plan for accomplishing those goals. Your main priority should be making your system a habit. Something that you do no matter what, that you don't have to think about or remind yourself about. Start with calendar reminders and task list items, and build life planning time into your daily and weekly routines until it becomes habit.
Okay. So like I said, that was like a comprehensive overview to give you some ideas on how to create your personal vision. Okay. Any questions? Let me see. Let me check the chat. Okay. All right. So we're on page 34 of your books. And was that one of the Ashleys that said that she speaks Spanish? because your book, if you have your book, is also in Spanish too. On the other side of the book is Spanish. Okay. All right. So my personal vision. So think of a vision for yourself and determine a long-term goal for yourself that you can reach like in the next 10 years. And then write your vision in the 10-year circle in your manual. This is on page 34. All right. So then think about within 3 years, where would you be in 3 years to be on track for this long-term goal? Remember I told you with the FFL, things are going to kind of build on each other. That's what's going to happen. All right. So when you think about where you be in 3 years for you to be on track for that 10-year goal, then you write that answer in the book. And then it says, what would you have to accomplish in 1 year to get on track for that 10-year goal? And then what would you have to do in 3 months? So that's more like a short term. So I know that's a lot. So here's an example. So let's say the 10-year goal was to retire and have a nonprofit business within 10 years. That is the goal. Well, what can I do in 3 years to do that? Well, pay off all my debt, come debt free. I must have a lot of debt, right? Within 3 years. So pay off, be debt free because I want to retire. And then what can be done within 1 year? These are just examples. Well, I can complete the paperwork to start this nonprofit. Get all that information together. It's a lot of documents to do that. But what can I do within 3 months to help me reach that goal? Pay off my Macy's cards, $243. Pay about a little less than $100 a month to be able to at least get that goal will be completed. This is just an example, like I said. So any thoughts? So like, where would you like to be in 10 years? You could you could put it in the chat. Or you could come off mute. Where would you like to be in 10 years? Within the 3 years to get you to the 10 years, within 1 year, and within 3 months. Or if you want to start with where I want to be in 10 years, this is what I want to do in the first 3 months, because that may be a lot. You can finish it for homework. But just off the top of your head, what are some things that you want to accomplish in 10 years, and how can you get there? I give you a few minutes to think about that. Have we really thought about where we want to be in 10 years? I don't know if any of you all ever even thought about that. You could put it in the chat, or you could come off mute. Okay, I got some answers. Shelly says to be running my business successful enough that I no longer need outside employment. I like that, Shelly. In 10 years, Gabrielle. Oh, this is Gabrielle. You want to make 100K? That sounds really good. Okay, Kyler B. Buy my grandparents' home back and pay it off to keep it in the family. Oh, I like that. I like that. And Shamika, I want to be living on my own land, working from home, running my own business. These are some really good goals. Vision, personal vision. Can a couple of people come off mute and just let us know what can you do within the next 3 months to kind of help you get on your way to that 10-year vision? What can you do now?
For me, I need to do another certification.
Okay, that's Shelly, right?
Yes.
Okay. So you feel like in the next couple of months, you need to get another certification so that you can run a successful business, your own business.
So
Okay.
I'm trying to do it's an LSA, a loan signing agent, but I've already received my notary license. So and I've already did my paperwork to start my business. So the next thing is to finish my certification so that I can get insurance and move forward.
That is amazing. That is great. So you working towards your vision. That's good. Anybody else? Shamika says in the next 3 months, I need to be looking for land, which is what I'm doing now. Okay, great. Thank you. All right. Anybody else want to come off mute? What are you doing like within the next 3 months to kind of help you to get to that 10-year goal? Okay, Nikki says I'm offering free reading coaching sessions. Okay. Nikki, well, what's the long-term goal? Did I miss it?
Yeah, I didn't say that. So my long-term goal is to have a nonprofit organization that is targeted towards brown kids that are reading below level. And the inspiration comes from the fact that 70% of prisoners read below a third grade level. So essentially, if you cannot read, you might as well put your hands behind your back. I mean, I know that's
Oh,
really reading is essential for any other success in school and for the rest of your life. And we are not sending our kids to school knowing how to read.
okay. That is awesome. You kind of put a visual in my head though about the reading. You said they might as well put their hands behind their back. Whoa.
And also, if you're not reading on level by the fourth grade, you will be behind in your educational journey for the rest of your educational journey. So you will never catch up. Now, there are, few and far between success stories outside of that. But basically, if your child is below level reading wise um, in the third or fourth grade, they will struggle through all of their other subjects all until they finish school, if they finish school.
Wow. That is some really impactful information.
And
Yeah.
parents don't know the capacity of their children. My 2-year-old can read 15 words, and it's not because she's advanced. I never want to say that my kids are advanced because it lets other parents off the hook. Any baby can do what my babies do if you work with them. So
Yeah.
it's just putting in a little time so that when they get ready to go to kindergarten and first grade, they know how letters work and they're familiar with sounds and the basics of reading. And we can do
Right.
this home for our kids.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that. Okay.
I'm not angry, I'm passionate.
I know you are. I know you're passionate. Okay. Anybody else want to put in the chat before we go on to the next section? Really good. Okay. Okay. Kiana says, don't worry, Nikki, I'm bringing, to learn by 3. Okay. Okay. All right, good information. You know, this is a really good group. You guys have a lot of information, and I want you all to feel comfortable in sharing, right? Because that's what this is about. It's about us also connecting and sharing information, resources. So I want you all to know that as well. So for homework, we're going to do vision board. So how many, a show of hands, how many have ever done a vision board? Have you ever done a vision board? Can you just do an emoji hand? You done a vision board? I don't see no emoji hands. Okay. Oh, they in the chat. I see them. Okay. Oh, Aaron said he has not. Okay. All right. Okay. So basically, a vision board, it's like a visualization tool that you can use as inspiration for your journey toward your goals, right? It's a little bit kind of like that personal quest a little bit, but this is you putting your vision like on paper or on a board. So basically, here are some examples of some vision boards. And then you can also look on page 36 of your book. It says, you know, close your eyes, take a moment to reflect on your big goals and your dreams. Again, this is for you. Big goals, big dreams. It's a vision board. So you can you know, what does your ideal life look like? And we have a couple examples here. Someone has living at the beach, a healthy body, giving back, spiritual growth, loving, fun, growing. I see a car there. So this is kind of like their dreams, their vision, you know, big goals. Nikki, is this your vision board to the right? Like, where did I get that from? Okay, so this is Nikki's vision board. Yeah. Okay, there it is. Okay, you want to talk a little bit about your vision board? I mean, you could talk about it better than me.
Yeah. So wow, how much has changed in a year? I have a whole new last name. Um, this is some of the things that inspire me. My family. I have a social. So I just full of thread there. Pink and Price is the name of my business. I wrote a book called Don't Tell a Girl She's Pretty. I really love Barbie because Barbie's so inclusive of every type of looking people. Really passionate about anti-racism efforts. I told you guys my background. Really into women's empowerment. Um, and laughing. I did several years of stand-up comedy unsuccessfully, but I still enjoyed it. Um, the apple is for teaching. I taught children for a long time, and yeah.
Okay, thank you. So basically, with this vision board, right, it's a collage of pictures, words, quotes that help remind you of your passion and your purpose. So be creative. You can actually cut out pictures out of magazines if you want, or you can do it digitally if you want to get like a Word document or Canva or something like that. You could do your vision board that way. Or you can draw or write what you want to put on your vision board. It's up to you, however you want to do it. This will be your homework for our next session. Any questions on the vision board? Because I think someone said they never did one. And it's yours. So it's whatever, there's no right or wrong. Any questions on the vision board? That would be your homework. And take a picture of it And just email it to me when you finish it. All right. I know everybody's excited about the next section. Is there anything that you'd like to ask or discuss? Any clarification on anything that we've gone through this evening? This is the time you can put it in the chat or you can come off mute. Okay. Nothing? Okay. We're going to do our door prize. So I am going to stop sharing. And I'm going to turn it over to Gabrielle.
Hello, hello. Let me do a final count because people have come in and out, in and out, in and out. So
While you're doing that, Gabrielle, I want to say something quickly about the homework.
Mhm.
The homework is really important, right? Because Nikki's been in my class, and I think Joaquina's been in my class. It builds on top of each other, right? It builds. So I want you all to make sure that if you don't have your binders, if you don't have your supplies, email me because they're at the office. I think we got a few more books left. We want you to get as much out of this this class as you possibly can, because everything I said builds on top of each other, and you're going to do a community project at the end. So it's really important that you participate and do the homework, and I appreciate those that have participated in giving homework. So, and another thing too, and I don't know if Nikki and Makina remember, but sometimes I like to give extra incentives. So if you come participate, turn in your homework, maybe you may get an extra incentive or something. We'll see. Okay, Gabrielle, you ready?
yes.
Okay.
All right, let me share.
Are you sharing?
Yeah, I'm sorry, I could do my thing.
Okay. Okay, there we go.
I'll do a quick little review and see if I missed anybody. I think I got everybody, but y'all check. Let's see.
Is everybody's name on here?
If your name is not on here, speak up now. I think I got everybody.
Okay.
All righty, about to the wheel. All right, Miss Sequoia.
Sequoia, you won.
Yeah, my bad.
Okay. All right, so I will mail your gift out to you by the end of this week. Okay.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Did everybody get their Amazon gift card last week? Everybody who came last week should have got an Amazon gift card. Okay.
I did.
All
I
right.
got mine.
Okay. Good. All right. That's why attendance is so important. So, all right. Thank you for all the yeses and thumbs up. I appreciate it. All right. So we are at the end. Our next session, February 27th, 6 p.m. Same Zoom link, but I'll send it out again. For homework, complete your vision board for next session. Send it to me and I'll put it in the PowerPoint. Thank you all for completing feedback survey 1. And if you have, and also the caregiver survey. So I'm going to put the feedback survey 2. I'm going to put it in the chat. Reflect on the protective factors, thinking about which ones that you currently have in place. Okay, here are the caregiver surveys. I am going to put them in the chat. Final words. I want everybody to name one word to describe how you feeling. You can put it in the chat. What are your thoughts? We're in session. We just completed module 2. Give me some, what are you thinking? Is this are you getting it? Is you like the program? How is it helping you? It's not helping you. And I'm gonna put 2 in the chat. You come off mute or put it in the chat. Words to describe. What are you thinking? How are you feeling about this FFL? Okay. All right. Oh, okay. Okay, Sequoia. Okay. And Nikki, I think a couple more people referred people. So I'm gonna get you guys the extra gift card. Okay, Ashley,
Okay, thank
excited.
you.
Yes.
Yeah,
Ashley.
you owe me so much money. I can't even describe it.
Why don't I just give you all the gift cards I got at the office? Okay. Ashley is excited. Other Ashley says awesome. Shanika says interesting, encouraging. Thank you. Shelly says making me more focused. I love it. I enjoy the group and look forward to evolving throughout this program. Okay, great. I'm glad, Joaquina. Thank you. Excited. Okay. All right. So, feedback survey 2 is in the chat. If you want, I'll give you, this is a short one. I'll give you about 5 minutes to complete, or you could just we'll just stay on until you complete it. Thank you again for joining us this evening. And I'm looking forward to module 3, which is goal setting. That will be our next module. Okay, have a good evening, and we'll stay on until the last person is on here. We will stay on. Oh, our DJ not here, so we won't have no music. And you guys can email me anytime if you have questions. Yeah, so Erin, this is I just put survey 2, the feedback survey for this session. If you need to, I will send out feedback session 1. I'll send it to you in an email, but I think you finished the first feedback survey. Yeah, I just put the second one in the chat. I will email out the first and second one tomorrow.
Yes, ma'am. My apologies. I did the first one. I thought there were 2 each time. I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's just one. So the first one was that caregiver survey, that long one, And then we did the feedback survey for session 1. So now we're just going to do the feedback surveys for each session. So no, it's just 1 today. For
Cool,
session
I
2.
got you there. I got you. I
Okay.
appreciate you. Hope you all have a good night.
Okay. Thank you. You too.
Not showing the music pan for me to do a little something.
Sure, you know how to do the music. Put it on.
Let's see. Can you guys hear that?
No.
No. Oh, I spoke too soon.
You gotta make sure you hit share on your screen, or Pam got share. Pam should have share.
You can share. That's why I don't ever do the music.
I tried to share, but I don't know. It didn't come through when you were still talking.